All right, you guys excited to get under the car, rip the rear brakes apart, and undercoat, and it's gonna be a terrible time for me. So enjoy the supper. You know, before we do that, I want to show something fun. I just got it today in the mail. So I had my buddy Chuck send me a carburetor. So he runs a business, Gorilla Carburetors. I believe he's in Washington, so that's like up and left in United States land. Anyways, he sent me this 3310 750 vacuum secondary Holley carburetor. I'll probably wear that shirt. But so what he does is he rebuilds kind of used carburetors and puts on new parts or refurbishes them, or I don't know, does all sorts of stuff. Anyways, he sent me this thing. He told me to check it out, bag on it a little bit, and see what happens. So fair's fair. He said if it's junk, let him know. So when we get this 440 in stock, we're going to slap her together. That's the carburetor. It's going to be a little centerpiece, cherry on top, and we'll see how she runs. Anyways, I'm going to get the jack in this car up, pulling the wheels. I was going through the trunk of doom parts, and I got the shocks. We got the brakes. All this is full of brake cables. This thing's kind of weird. It's got both, well, this cable for the e-brake goes over, and they both go here, and one kind of front cable. So pretty simple setup. I think I have it all there. Everything's in the car. So new cables. I ordered brake line because the hack I am, when I was putting on the quarter panels, I actually did both sides. So when I zipped down here, and right at the bottom where I had to go right into the sill, I zipped through the brake line on this side and the fuel line on that side. So the fuel line, I'll put like a ferrule fitting or whatever it's called, union on that, or a piece of rubber hose and a couple of hose clamps. As for this side, I'm going to run a whole brand new brake line. It seems funny not to. The rest of the brake lines are in great shape up front. Underneath, they're a little crunchy, and I think you need brakes, right? So we'll dial that together. They're not going to be here for a couple days. Amazon, right? Next day shipping isn't quite next day. But we'll do that. We'll get undercoating, seam sealing. I'll show you the floor underneath. It's been a while. If you're new here, or this is your first video of it, this car, you can go back and watch some previous videos. I put quarter panels on it. I put trunk dropouts on it. I did a full floor pan on it. Repaired some of the sills. And then I painted it and kind of patina matched it. So this is, I painted this and I didn't paint that. So it still needs kind of polishing and some screwing around. But yeah. Let's do the same thing we did to the back to the front. Front to the back. And yeah. Alright, next we see it, it'll be on the in the air, and I'll be under it, hating my life. You know, I thought to myself, as this thing's up in the air, and I was under it, man, it looks good under here. And, I want to show some of it off. Oh, shocked myself. So, that there is the emergency brake cable, which we're replacing. Everyone's concerned about the torque boxes. I know they rot out, but the main reason I bought this car is because they were in perfect shape. This thing was undercoated at some point in its life. Now, obviously this isn't, because that's a brand new floor plan I put in there. Look at that. I did a pretty nice job. So I got to seam seal the edge and undercoat it, because I'm going to undercoat this whole car, I think I've decided. The only thing we have to worry about, oh god, I got that hole right there to worry about, which I'll weld her up real nice like. In the back, it's all factory stuff. There seems to be a whammo right there, which I will hammer out from the top. We have ourselves an 8 3/4 rear end, apparently. I don't know what the gear is, everyone keeps asking, but that's what she is. And if we go all the way to the back, yeah, a little scoot. So the rear subframe, whatever you want to call it, nice and solid all the way to the back. I really like to rod out right there, but it does not on both sides. So that's what sold me on this thing. The bushings all look decent in the back. Actually, I guess even the brake lines don't look too bad. I'm going to hose down the shock absorbers with some penetrating oil, so those come out, and the wheel cylinders as well. Get that all kind of dialed together, because they're going to be a bit of a pain. You never know. Worst case, we'll replumb this thing with brake lines. And we'll clean it all up. So I want to get the floor seam sealed and the rocker welded, or the inner rocker, so then I can undercoat it. I'm going to take the brake lines, this is what I was talking about here. The emergency brake cable wraps all the way around. They both go on that side. So I'll take those out, that way when I undercoat everything, it'll look all nice, and then I'll put all the kind of brake lines and shocks in after. Because otherwise, you end up getting overspraying everything. So we'll take the wheels off, get all that done, we're going to strip down. But first, Danny made pizza for supper, and I'm eating it. Well, I'm working away. I know it's not your guys' favorite kind of video where I'm just kind of going back and showing what I've done. But filming and screwing around under the car, I hate it. It slows me down. I think the footage is terrible. I chopped the brake lines out. You see e-brake hanging. I got it all off the bottom. I welded into one little patch. I seam sealed a bunch, and I've got half the floor undercoated. Try to touch anything. Oh god, oh god. I'm stuck. So, I don't want to rub against anything. So that's my little patch job. Not bad, not bad. And we got everything undercoated all the way up to the front. And I went, I seam sealed this little area here. I think it came out pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. And you can see, obviously, there back is the factory or dealer installed undercoating, whatever it may be. And I just gave it a quick coat until basically the diff. My thought is this can dry overnight, because I'm done for now. And I can screw around back here. I hose down everything. You can see it's all wet there. All the fasteners for the shocks and for the brakes. So I'm going to rip that all apart tomorrow. Hopefully it'll come out nicely. Once that's all out, then I can paint the diff with actual paint and the springs, and I'll finish undercoating the rest of it and go from there. But that's the plan. Hopefully I should have this thing banged out tomorrow. A little light on the face. Oh, look at that. Good looking guy. And yeah, I'm hoping the brakes will go well. I still haven't pulled the wheels off. I'll do that tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. See you tomorrow. Well, it's the next day, and I've already started working. And as you guys can see, the brakes apart. Actually, wasn't too bad. I'd heat the drum up a little bit, get it loose off the hub, which is pretty common. I knocked all the studs out. Some of them are broken, so I heated those ones up just so it's, I don't know, I thought it was easier. I got new studs to pull in. We have all brand new brakes. Now the problem is, these drums are mangled. Well, I'll show you you can see that 3D pattern running, but it looks almost too bright to show it off. These are hashed. There's no way around it, unfortunately. So look at that. Woo! It's like a record. So they're mangled. Luckily, you know what happens to these is just a pain in the ass is if the shoes are adjusted real tight, then they get kind of bound in there and they're a real nightmare to take off. So I did kind of luck out, I guess. As bad as it was, it went not bad. It's only going to cost me money, not time. But I can carry on. I can do the e-brake cables. I can do the wheel cylinders. I can do the shoes. I can still run these drums for right now until I order new ones. That's super easy to do. So yeah, we're doing a rear brake job. While I'm in here, I'm going to see if I can maybe knock these shock absorbers out real quick. And I got to take them out. So I want to take everything out, clean it, paint it, and we'll start putting it all back together later on. Danny's working late tonight, so I got a fair bit of time to myself. Okay, I got that side all stripped apart. It actually was not nearly as bad. The drum came off without even heating it. The drum looked okay on the inside. I can't really complain about it. So I ordered a little measuring device. We'll see if it gets here. For sure I'm going to do it for one drum. We'll see with the others. I pulled the rest of the stuff off. I got the e-brake cable out. the old e-brake cable, I should say. Shocks are out. This did not go swimmingly. It's in an area, and cutting them, and then cut the bolts in half. It's in an area, you can see a little C channel, and that's the gas tank. Shocks, gas tank. So I didn't want to use any heat on it. I'm not a big fan of that, so I cut it out. I'm gonna go run and get some new bolts for it right away. Got the old brake line out. You know, this thing came apart pretty easy. I gave it a couple of little spots of seam sealer, but nothing too crazy. What I'm gonna do is, now that's all original stuff in there. Look how good that looks. I'm gonna coat this whole thing in undercoating, because now you can see where I stopped, kind of at the kick up of the back seat there. So undercoat the rest. I'm gonna get some black paint for the springs and the diff and stuff like that. Let that dry. Well, while it's drying, I'm gonna run to get bolts and a few other things. And hopefully that'll be dry enough I can then put the rear brakes back together, maybe hang the parking brake cables, stuff like that, run the brake lines, put the shoes on, and yeah, make it look like a, put the back end together. That's my plan anyways. We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna do some painting. It'll be shitty. Sucks. It really sucks under here. And then when I come back, I'll brand new bolts, and we'll start putting new shocks and all that kind of fun stuff in. Well guys, I jumped way ahead. I got back and I finished undercoating everything, so it looks good. I started working on the brakes. I put the wheel cylinder in this side, and I actually hung the e-brake cable. I put the new line in, wheel cylinders. I don't know if I showed that or not, but everything was, I mean, I just did this in the front, so I figured if you want to go back a video or two, it's all explained. I did this side complete just because it's awkward to get on this side. I figured I'll film the passenger side because I got a little more room. Thought we got all the brakes together. Unfortunately, I ordered the wrong wheel studs. These are for the front, and they're different on the back. So that was my fault. But I'll get some tomorrow. Anyways, we're going to show you under this fine hot rods. Actually, I gotta say, it came out pretty good. So everything is all undercoated. We're going to keep the original fuel tank. Hopefully it's not all full of junk. There's gonna be holes and stuff in it. I painted the diff black. This is just grease. I gotta get over that and clean it all up. But whatever. We got brand new shocks in. We got new shock bolts up top. I did break the one, so I had to weld a stud on it, but that turned out okay. The e-brake cable goes all the way around and up in the factory spot. I gotta give MOPAR credit. They did have kind of cool mounts and whatnot, so it goes all up and around and down, and they're both there. So I got to run the front cable. So I'm going to do that next. I'll do the brakes as well. Realistically, this thing is kind of dialed together underneath. Not a whole lot else I can do. Yeah, the floor, I gotta say, you know, put a floor in a car, guys. If you have a rotted out car, don't cheap out, don't buy the pans. It's a lot of work, but this full floor looks so nice. I mean, just, I don't know. I think it'll be nice for the next individual who owns it, or if it's me, whatever it turns out. But yeah. So I don't actually know how the front cable goes. How hard can it be? I'll figure that out, and then we'll do the brakes. Put a little lapse camera up and make that happen. They're the exact same as the front, except they're gonna have a little kind of bar and lever thing for the park brake. Oh man, am I ever dirty, eh? Holy. Working on your back in the garage, eh? So we'll get that together, and yeah. My brake line should show up tomorrow, so I'll do that kind of some other time. I want to finish up this video tonight, and yeah, kind of go from there. So we got to run one brake line, then we can bleed the brakes. We're 100% done. I got to order some drums. Well, a drum. I might wait for that little tool to come to measure them, see if I should order the fronts as well. And I think all the real ugly work is done until we got to do exhaust. That's never fun. So I'll get the front cable kind of set up. We'll do the rear brakes and call it for the night. I'm tired. Alright. Well, I got the e-brake cable all dialed at the front. It was a friggin' nightmare at the pedal. Dodge guys, come on, give me that one. It was a pain. Anyways, we have our the brake shoes. All I've done so far is I put the e-brake lever on. So what this does, there's a bar that runs across as you pull the cable, which is going to go something like that. It will pull this bar ahead, which then pushes that bar, which is this one right here, into the other shoe, which basically just expands them. It does the same thing as the Master, just mechanically, right? So we got to put this together and yeah, see how it goes. So we'll probably switch into fast motion right now, as long as you got a few pictures of how it kind of looks, which I always take on my phone. Big shoe in the back. I mean, it's kind of only goes together one way. That being said, on the other side, actually I should say this, the other side is really easy to take apart. The star wheel can go kind of either way, but if you have it the wrong way and the adjuster isn't on there, it won't self-adjust. So that shoe, or the brake, where you want to look at it, was not adjusted properly, so it popped off really easily. This one, which was done correctly, was a pain, which is kind of how she goes. So let's jam this together. Check out this park brake action. I got it together. It's not adjusted properly, but can it move? Yeah, it's something there. Well, might need a few more turns or whatever once we get the drum on, but we got it all together. Right on. Oh, alright, well, it's a little after midnight. I'm beat. I'm pretty sure this video is done, but yeah, it was kind of a lame thing to do, so I thought I'd end off with a couple of cool questions, what I thought were cool, or calm ones, I should say. So, I guess asked all the time about Fords on the channel. I'm not against Fords. They are, I'm not a big fan of the kind of oddball ones, like a Galaxy or a Fairlane, stuff like that. Don't really do it for me. I had a Falcon years ago. I love that thing. I'd like to have another of those. I love a Mustang. They're just ludicrously priced. And I thought about changing a notch into a fastback. Looks like a big job. Anyways, I do have, it's not on the channel a whole lot, 66 Cobra kit car, which I could bring back and kind of do a little bit on. It does probably need a once over and a few little things, so I'll probably do that this year on it. I don't fit in the thing very well. I'm too tall. So there's a little, I want to change the pedals on it, maybe drop the floor pan, and, you know, kind of bring that back. I have that Model A. It's a 3031 Model A with 32 rails, flathead. I bought it kind of spur of the moment. The guy needed it gone, needed a few bucks, and I wanted one. I was looking, and I kind of bought it. It's a big project, and honestly, I've never done one before. I don't know how I want to build it yet. It came with a bunch of miscellaneous parts for how the previous owner was going to build it, which I'm not necessarily see it the same way. I see it kind of high boy, chop like crazy, no fenders, you know, big and littles, you know, flathead, side pipes, the whole deal. But kind of traditional hot rod. I'd love to get on that. Maybe this summer I'll kind of piece it together, make it look like a car. Right now it's just a body. The frame rails are in my basement, the motor somewhere else. It's in a bazillion pieces. It's got a drop axle on it. But it's kind of a sit in the back project. I like to tinker on a little bit. I don't want to jam through it. When I'm doing these videos, you got to kind of pump through to keep the videos going, you know, for you guys and all that stuff, and for myself. But that I think would be one I'd like to do and then think on a little bit. And I don't have the room right now to do it, so it could either be an outdoor project in the summer maybe. Think about buying one of those kind of tents, have a little outdoor garage, Or, yeah, I'm not really too sure. The next one I get asked all the time is truck. Get a truck, get a truck, get a truck. So, a lot of guys say try 5 truck, and you know what? I'm sure one day I will build a try 5 truck. But honestly, trucks they're not really my deal. They actually don't get a lot of views, so which is funny because they're always in the comments. People don't really enjoy watching it. Maybe I'm picking the wrong trucks. I'm not too sure. I mean, I did that square body big block swap, and I've done last winter. I did a 71 or 2 C10 that I shortened up. It was a long bed. I shortened to a short bed, and I put an LS in it. Made it kind of run drive. It was okay. I mean, did a classic, floors, cab corners, all that sort of stuff. The main reason I'm not into trucks. So I have a company truck. I've got my blue plow truck, which is dead right now. I got to work on. I got that 80s K10 big block 4x4 truck for hauling junk around, regular cab long bed. That's 3 trucks. That's a lot of trucks. And ultimately in the summertime when I walk out and I see a bunch of stuff in the driveway or whatever it may be, I don't know. I just don't feel like taking a hot rod truck. I would much rather take something like this. So that's kind of long and short of it. I don't know. I know there's a lot of great channels out there. I mean, United by Trucks, those guys are killing it with trucks all the time and stuff. So, but yeah, that's those are my 2 kind of things that I just saw those questions were being asked a bunch lately. We answer them on the live stream, which we do every Saturday night at 7:30 Central. So stop by 7:30. I don't know. We're kind of all over the place, but feel free to stop in. It's 100% free. We can shoot the breeze, do all that kind of stuff. It's a fun time. We're there for about an hour and a half, and we really appreciate you guys being there. And it's our kind of way to get back and hang out as best we can because there's a few miles between us. But anyways, that's where we're leaving for today. I got to do a bunch of cleaning up and stuff. We're waiting on the motor. So I think we're going to maybe work on some electrical stuff next, maybe a little bit of interior. I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do. We'll figure something out. The weather's actually pretty nice again, so the wagon might come back in the next video or 2 because I got a huge box of exhaust parts from Lyle's Exhaust. So I want to put an exhaust system on that thing. So once it has exhaust, I can actually run it a little bit, tune it properly, and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit of back and forth between the cars. Best I can do. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and maybe the little question. If you guys have any other questions, try and leave them in the comments. I try and get back to them as much as I can. I'm all over the place with that. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.